Hey, what's going on? You're tuned into the Daily Geek right here on SweetGeek.tv. I'm your host, Griffin, and today is the first day of October 2008. Let's get to the geek news, starting off with story number one. You probably heard that Paul Newman died last weekend, which is definitely a bummer, but his entrepreneurial legacy lives on, and Entrepreneur.com has a great article about it that I think you should read. I'm always about entrepreneurial things, so go check out this article on the interesting links below on our main site, SweetGeek.tv. Story number two, Google has launched their old 2001 search in honor of their 10th birthday in collaboration with the Internet Archive. Now, if you want to go test it out, I think you should. It's kind of funny to see. We have a link to the page on the interesting links section on our main site, SweetGeek.tv. It's definitely funny to, Google your name back in 2001 to see what comes up. Story number three, how to blog your way to small business success. Now, lots of people, I detail lots of blogging posts because I think that people are either already blogging, thinking about blogging, have thought about blogging at some point in time, or are just starting to blog right now. So I think these articles are very important for you to check out. So why don't you do so on the interesting link section on our main site, SweetGeek.tv. Moving on to story number four. Remember Imeem before the big shadow of MySpace Music was over them? Well, they have revamped their site, and for those of you that don't know, they had the four major record labels on board before MySpace Music. They had playlists and all sorts of social music features that MySpace Music now has. And on top of that, they actually have a really nice user base, 28 million users, up I think from like 10 million last year. Now, it's not quite MySpace's, 100 plus million user base, but I still think it's pretty nice. If you haven't checked out Imeem yet, you should. It's imeem.com, and go check that out. Story number five, StumbleUpon has always had a big problem because you've always had to install the toolbar. That was a big barrier to entry for them and their users. Well, it turns out they have released an install-free version of its toolbar for its recommendation engine. Now, I think it is totally cool. I love StumbleUpon. I love finding really cool websites using StumbleUpon. So if you haven't tried it yet, or if you moved away from it because of the toolbar, I definitely think you need to go back and check it out. Story number six, rumor has it that there's going to be a new Wii HD that's going to be available in 2011 with increased storage, visuals, etc., but it's still going to have the same Wiimote type experience. So basically a nice hardware upgrade. Once we know more details about it, we'll make sure to let you know right here on the Daily Geek. Moving on to story number seven, the last story of the day. If you're like me, you watched Ironman, you loved Ironman, and now you notice that there's about 50 billion versions of Ironman DVD, Blu-ray, all sorts of this craziness, head collector's edition, all this sort of things. Well, Gizmodo does a really good job. It details 8 of the bazillion versions of Ironman and kind of helps you figure out which one you want to buy. I'm including a link to this article on the interesting link section on our main site, SweetGeek.tv, and that is the Geek News for the 1st of October 2008. I'm your host, Griffin for the Daily Geek on SweetGeek.tv, and before I go, I want to let you know, if you're watching us on YouTube, why don't you subscribe to us, or if you're on our main site, we have a nice RSS feed or iTunes that you can subscribe to right there in the top right-hand corner of the screen, which I think is actually this way on the video, but anyways, we appreciate your loyalty, and we'll catch you right back here tomorrow.